government how to raise 10 billion. We have shown government, if it is about revenue, they say they want 6.9 billion. We've shown them how to raise 10 billion. They're not ready to do it. All they are interested in is imposing the hardship on the Ghanaian people. We cannot sit down.
For many, this action is secondary to what your side is pushing in Parliament. But how important is it? Because ultimately, the buck will stop on the minority in helping to stop this. So how important is it for you to be in the street?
I can assure you, the 137 of us who are in Parliament on the ticket of the NDC, we are ready to die in that chamber to vote against the e-levy. But it is not just the 137 of us. It is you, the media. It is the teacher who is watching me. It's the police officer who is walking with us today. It is your grandmother and my grandfather in the villages who will be affected by this senseless and heartless levy, who are all coming out today to agitate against this levy. So yes, you can be rest assured, we will do our bit, we will play our part. But the Ghanaian people who have sent us into Parliament also are expressing their anger to the NPP. The NPP that is not interested in cutting the waste, cutting the rot in the system, but is only interested in making sure that they impose further hardship on the Ghanaian people.
We always talk about revenue cuts, expenditure cuts. And in the budget, the finance minister say some 20% of the expenditure has already been cut. How more can they go?
Has the finance minister shown you exactly where they are cutting that 20%? That 20% has been thrown out there. But has he shown you specific direct numbers that we are cutting here, we are cutting there? Listen, the Office of Government Machinery, which is where Akufo-Addo gets his money that he spent. In 2021, the budget for the Office of Government Machinery was 2.3 billion Ghana cedis. If they say they are cutting, how come in 2022, the budget for the vote for the Office of Government Machinery, Office of the President, is now 3.1 billion. It's moved from 2.3 to 3.1 billion. That Office of Government Machinery alone is taking 55% of expected revenue of the e-levy. Office of Government Machinery. So you say you are cutting, yet our president is buffing in the air and renting a $15,000 an hour jet. I mean, how are you cutting? You're asking us to tighten our belt, yet you are increasing the Office of Government Machinery's expenditure by over 25%.
You have been engaging at first hand with government appointees. Is it as if those who are opposed to this e-levy are just refusing to agree or reason with government, or there's no sense at all in what they seek to do?
I've told you that we have met with them. We've offered them counter suggestions. And look, even the National Security Minister, Honorable Kandapa, admitted that our side was brilliant, admitted that our suggestions were fantastic, and that they hadn't even thought about that. And he jokingly said that NDC for Munimadiesa.
What are some of these suggestions that you gave them?
Take, for example, we spend almost 3 billion every year in tax waivers. The finance ministry has a tax waiver bill in Parliament that will stop this 3 billion loss to the state. We've asked them to look at it and close that gap. Again, we've asked them, we've said, look, this whole benchmark business that you have done, it's killing local businesses. So in some areas where you have kept the benchmark, take them off. That in itself will give you over $1 billion. Take the 2020 Auditor General's report. The Auditor General's report says that we lost 12 billion. 12 billion. Twice the e-levy.
They've argued that that does not necessarily mean a loss. They say per the Auditor General's report.
Hold it. Should you not be concerned that even if you say it is not a loss, but it is potential wastage? In 2016, when John Mahama was leaving office, it was only worth 700 million, less than $1 billion. And now the potential waste has gotten to 12 billion. Even if the waste element in that is even 25% of 700 million and 25% of 12 billion, does that not tell you that there is something wrong somewhere?
What does this say of a government that promised in 2016 that if we're able to seal all the loopholes, then there's more that we can do?
Well, the point is simple. Nanado is an audio president. He's a soundbite president. He speaks, but he doesn't believe what he says. If Nanado tells you good morning, look up, you will see the moon. It's a government of liars. It's a government of dishonest and insensitive people It's a government that has lost touch with the people of this country. It's a government that lies to his own people. It's a government that is insensitive, that is callous. This is an incompetent, clueless, arrogant bunch of people running this country into a ditch. The people of Ghana are going to show them the exit sooner than later.
The e-levy cake seems to have angered a number of Ghanaians. Is that the same sentiment among the minority?
Look, and how silly could they be to try and turn it around and say it was an NDC MP? I have dared the NPP last night, and I'm daring them again today. They should name the NDC MP who sent the cake. That is the bloody lie from the pit of hell. If they are men of integrity, they owe this country an apology. When the Ghanaian people say we are tired of their taxation, you promised to move us from taxation to production. You have killed Ghanaian businesses that were already in production. You have imposed taxes on us than any other government. And when we are talking, you go and hold an ostentatious, lavish party and mock us with an e-levy cake.
Thank you very much.
As they say in G,
thank you very much. That's Honorable Nate George, Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram. So the demonstrators are still massive.
Hansen.
Let's try and get details of this protest.
Hansen.
Yes.
Right, so yeah, so I want you to find out from the organizers, right? So the NPP has also started their town hall meetings, you know, to explain to Ghanaians what the e-levy is and what it seeks to achieve. Now, when you watch the outcomes of some of these town hall meetings, some Ghanaians are also saying now they are beginning to understand the importance of e-levy. So what would this protest or this demonstration change?
Well, Adam Agbana is the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC, and he will provide some answers. Adam, why won't you go for these town hall meetings and make your case known rather than coming onto the street?
In policy formulation, consultation is not an afterthought. Consultation comes before even the introduction of the policy. Now, the government's town hall meeting is not an attempt to seek the consent of Ghanaians or to get the opinions or ideas from Ghanaians, but to explain and lie to the good people of Ghana why they want to introduce this regressive e-levy. And the town hall is nothing but a knee-jerk reaction to the resistance and the opposition to the e-levy. And so, yes, people have made the argument that goes for the town halls. We have people that attended the town halls, not even on the ticket of the NDC, and the people made their case, but the government is not ready to listen.
But the cycle is not cast in stone. That if it says you should make consultations before formulation, doesn't mean that after formulation you can't go back and consult.
So when you go back after the policy is formulated, the big question is, what is the goal of the engagement? Their goal is not to get ideas as to how best to raise money, but their goal is to explain the reason behind this tax, and they have not been able to give us any cogent reason. Now, in Parliament, either at the committee level or at the plenary session, members of Parliament have given reasons why the e-levy is not the way to go. Again, we have NDC members of Parliament, and the NDC as a political party, we have proposed to the government that if you are seeking to raise 6.9 billion, we can give you alternative sources of raising even 10 billion. And we've provided all the sources.
They've actually not listened to you.
They are not listening.
That's what you're saying.
It means that the town hall meetings is nothing but a waste of time. And we are saying that we know this government. We know they are insensitive. We know they have gross disrespect to the good people of Ghana. And so they do not want to listen.
If they don't listen to you at the negotiation table, how confident are you that they'll listen to you on the streets?
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it. But one thing I can tell you is that we will force this government to listen on this issue. We will force them. It will get to the point. See, then let's not make it look as if the government has had its way all over, in all the things. For example, when they wanted to have the election of MMDCs on the partisan level, and they wanted to go for the national referendum, and the NDC took a different position. Why did they back down? Because they know the stake of the NDC and what we are capable of doing. I can tell you that the government has gotten away with so many things, but on this e-levy, they will not get away. We will force them to listen.
Is this solely an NDC protest?
It is not, and that is why you see us in national colors. The e-levy will not be taxed on only NDC members. It's the good people of Ghana. Taxi drivers are here. Students are here. People from all walks of life. All of you are going to be the victims of this thievery. And so it is not an NDC demonstration, but it is the youth wing of the NDC that is leading it.
We understand it's a coalition.
Yes.
Which identifiable groups can you point to us?
We have the Coalition for Social Justice, led by the CPP, by the PNC executives. Ishaq Awudu, I have seen him around. We have drivers' unions. We have Concerned Students of Ghana. We have Okada Riders Association of Ghana. We have market women from Makola who are here in their numbers. In fact, a few meters away, I have seen an association of Kayayes. Kayayes, who at the end of the day, after carrying
protested against you in your last term.
And they are here today because they realize that they made a mistake and they changed their color TV for a black and white that is even refusing to come on as we speak. And so all these interest groups are here. I have seen the inter-party coalition. That is the coalition of the other political parties. Bernard Mona and Co, they are all here. So it's the NDC youth wing that is providing the leadership, but it is a coalition of many, many groups and interest groups that are here to ensure that we fight against this regressive e-levy.
At what point in time do we move, and what are the routes?
As the organizers of the demonstration, we are in talks with the police. And so as and when we are okay, that we think the various interest groups that we are expecting are here, we'll be moving. But we'll be moving very soon. But I can assure you, before we get to Parliament, not less than 10,000 people will be on the streets to ensure that we protest against this e-levy. The youth wing of the NDC that is providing this leadership, led by lawyer George Opari Ado, has indicated that this is just one of a series of demonstrations that we are about to organize.
What routes are you using for the demonstration?
We are starting from here, Obra Sport. We'll be passing through the Farisco traffic lights, then we'll head towards Parliament. We have provided details of the route, but to make it very simple for the understanding of all, right from here, we'll head towards Farisco traffic lights and make our U-turn there towards Parliament, where we will address the protesters in front of Parliament. Now, it is also important to note that we are presenting a petition only to the Speaker of Parliament. Why? Because we don't have confidence in Akufo-Addo. We have lost confidence in the Akufo-Addo government, and we think that Akufo-Addo, as insensitive, as abysmal as his performance has been, he doesn't care about the good people of Ghana. But for Parliament, and but for the hung Parliament that we have, you and I would have started paying the e-levy all the way from January. So we are not going to the Flagstaff House or the Jubilee House, whatever they want to call it. We are marching to Parliament because we have confidence in 137 MPs and a Speaker of Parliament. As for the rest, they have made themselves a group of people that are cowardly following Akufo-Addo. And you know, shamelessly, you speak to them and they will tell you that we know our constituents don't like the e-levy, but Akufo-Addo is a vindictive leader. When you are against the e-levy,
these are not points that we can prove on this platform.
But I am telling you that. So I am asking you the question. Almost all of you, the media houses and journalists, have conducted surveys. Which of the surveys prove that Ghanaians are in support of e-levy? The constituents that they speak to, these MPs, I am telling you that they know that their constituents are not in favor of the e-levy. But because Akufo-Addo is so vindictive as a leader, all of them, all 137, are doing what we call group thinking. They are just following shamelessly, even while they know that the e-levy is not.
If for nothing at all, they are there to also push government business. So I don't think that there's any fault with it if they are pushing government business.
I have always argued and made a point that the only way we can prove our loyalty to this country called Ghana is when you are able to speak against your government when it is going wrong. Are you telling me that all the 137 plus 1, the one who shamelessly is joining them as independent MP, all the 137, none of them can reason with Ghanaians? which stakeholder in Ghana today likes the idea of e-levy? From the telcos to the mobile money operators to whoever, the bankers, everybody is saying that the e-levy is not the way to go.
Thank you very much.
Only these people. So the fidelity to the country is not in showing fidelity to an insensitive, a failed and an incompetent government like the Akufo-Addo government. It is by loving your country. So we are here to show that
Hansen,
we love our country. We are here to fight for the country.
Yeah, so we've had reports that the former president, Mahama, will be joining them. Is that confirmed?
We know that this is led by the youth wing. We've already seen the national organizer, Akamba. Which other people should we be expecting?
Our national chairman, the Honorable Samuel Ofo-Swampofo, will be here. The General Secretary, the Honorable Johnson Asedu Nketia, will be here. And we have all the 137 members of parliament from the NDC going to be here. And other notable Ghanaians.
The flag bearer be here.
I will want to keep that a secret for now. But we know that the flag bearer has endorsed the demonstration. He has actually written to give the government alternative sources of raising the 6.9 billion. So we may have the flag bearer passing through as and when we feel that it's okay.
Well, this is a passive confirmation of the involvement of former President John Dramani Mahama in the protest by the NDC youth. But this is just to give you a feel of what is happening here at the Obra Sport, where the protesters are massing up.
Give us a sense of security presence, because the footage we see so far, we don't really see any police on the ground.
So we are taking you through the Obra Sport, and very soon you got a glimpse of the police officers. So you can see quite a number of FPU vehicles. The police presence here is massively felt. Most of them on their FPU vehicles at the moment. And just as the Deputy National Youth Organizer indicated to us, the police are only waiting for them to inform them of plans to move, and then they'll move. So this is the police. These are police officers drawn from various units within the Greater Accra Regional Police Command.
Right now, Hassan, when Adam was speaking, he said that they are expecting about 10,000 people. By rough estimates, looking at the numbers, how many people do you think are there currently?
So currently, I think we have about close to 200 persons. But just as the Deputy National Youth Organizer indicated, we are expecting well over thousands of people to partake in this protest. And he is of the assurance and commitment that by the time they get to Parliament, there will be thousands of people participating in the protest. And most of these people are holding placards with various inscriptions. One of the placards reads, "Government silence on e-levy is alarming. He used to be an economic talker." Others say the question on the list. Some also have put out past tweets of the president and this tweet reads, the question on the list of the DNC is, where is the money? Another read, where is the 240 billion you have borrowed? So these are some of the concerns or issues raised by the protesters themselves. So we try and speak to some of these protesters and understand from them their participation in this protest by the National Youth Wing of the NDC. The protesters are still massing up here at the Brasport. National organizer of the NDC, Joshua Akamba, is here. Mr. Akamba, how important is this protest?
I didn't get it.
How important is this protest?
If it wasn't important, I wouldn't have been part of it. I wouldn't have committed all the resources I have to get it to where it is. It is important because I think that you and I are being robbed. And I have said it before, and I keep saying it. If President Akufo-Addo doesn't withdraw it, Chief, I can assure you that like Adolf Hitler killed himself. We will give him all the pressure so Akufo-Addo himself decides to kill himself. We will give him pressure so Akufo-Addo kill himself if he doesn't withdraw it.
No, but well, let's take that out. But what is that?
I just cited an example that when Adolf Hitler decided to manhandle the world and he saw that there was pressure coming, what did Adolf Hitler do to himself? So that's what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that if President Akufo-Addo doesn't withdraw it, he will do the same thing Adolf Hitler did to himself.
Well, your party has held a number of protests, and you've sought the support from groups like Fix the Country and Economic Fighters League. They've always indicated that your party is partly to blame for the problem that we are going through, and as a result, they've always declined. Does it bother you that you're not getting the buy-in from groups such as Fix the Country and Economic Fighters League?
When President Akufo-Addo himself has said that he had gotten a good economy to build on, when they achieve a single digit of inflation, what they told us in this country, they've achieved it because President Mahama has left everything that he needs to leave. He managed to get projects that were paying itself. He built hospitals that paid itself.
The question is whether you're concerned that you've not gotten the buy-in of groups like Fix the Country and Economic Fighters League.
The question is
whether you are concerned that you've not gotten the buy-in of groups like Fix the Country and Economic Fighters League.
Listen, I have said it. Listen, the Fix the Country. It is NDC members who joined them to do the demonstration. And henceforth, let them organize demonstration and let it be successful. Let's see.
I say that the NDC has been behind the Fix the Country movement.
I'm saying that the NDC members are the people that actually get themselves involved in that demonstration. And after that, we'll advise our members. Because the interest of this country is paramount. And our members have always been crying for this. We are going to take this upon ourselves. And after this, you will see what next action. Fix the Country will not have legs to stand again.
A number of credit ratings agencies have downgraded Ghana, Fitch and Moody's. The government has not been comfortable with those ratings. What do you make of that?
You see, so if you have a country where about $430 million was given to us, the president decides to declare only $100,000. Is it my fault? You as a journalist, is it your fault? Where is the money? Let's begin asking questions. You understand? So these are things that pains us as Ghanaians. And I will tell you that President Akufo-Addo is in a bad problem. And we will handle that with him. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Joshua Kamba is... Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the next Nancy, if you can hear me, I want you to find out from the organizers, yes, in an instance where the e-levy is passed, would an NDC government scrap it when they come to office?
Well, so when we get some of the organizers, the question to them, let's make it. Well, you have been in and out, seen a lot with various governments. The quest to create revenue is always with the government. What is different with what the NDC the MPP is trying to do?
The lack of accountability. The lack of accountability. When you have a government that keeps taking, and we ask a simple question: how has this money been spent? And you refuse to tell us. We bring you to Parliament for accountability. You refuse to tell us. Why then should we give you more? It's like throwing water into a basket. And that's all we are saying. Taxes. I'm saying taxes are relevant. But taxes without accountability is irrelevant. We just want to know what has happened to all the money we gave you. We warned you in advance. When you had 125 ministers, we warned you that it was going to be too expensive. You didn't listen. You have come now, you want to take more. And we say, okay, explain what you have already taken. Account. You say no. And you still want to tax us. The tax itself is an unfortunate tax because of what is happening. So I'm clear in my mind that the time has come for Ghanaians to send a clear message that actually what is happening in Ghana now is not right. It's unfortunate. There's a rule of law. There's good governance. Everything has just been set aside. You say you want to tax us. Tell us how you have spent the other money. You say no. And you expect us to go through the process. They talk about free water. If you remember, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah told us that when they increase water prices, that nothing is free. So you're already collecting the water money. Why are you saying that you have spent it on COVID? You are already taxing us. You have collected the money. You said nothing is free. You have put it on electricity. You have put it on water. So where's the free?
Well, thank you very much. So there's some sights and scenes here at the Well, so these are some sights and scenes here at the Obra Sport. We are still waiting for the demonstrators to start the protest, but more people keep joining the protest here at the Obra Sport to demand a withdrawal of the controversial electronic transfer levy that the NPP government is seeking to use as an avenue to shore up our revenue to meet various expenditure demands.
Hansen. Yes. Can you kindly find out from some of the ordinary, I mean, we've spoken to quite a number of executives. Can you find out from some of the ordinary demonstrators why they're out there and how important this is for them?
Certainly. So for most of these Ghanaians who are poured out here, from the placards that most of them are holding, you can tell that they are here in support of the pause for withdrawal of the electronic transfer levy. Senior, why are you here?
Oh, I'm here to demonstrate against Akufo-Addo government.
Here to demonstrate against
Akufo-Addo government.
What has Akufo-Addo done against you?
No, I am a painter. I started before I got work to do. You can see my back going to work. I have to join the queue to demonstrate against the illegal government.
Because you don't get job to do, that's why you're here to go.
I don't get job to do, and the same time they will test me. Where am I going? I have 4 children. None of them are going to school because I don't have money.
How difficult is it to take care of your children these days?
Pardon?
How difficult is it to take care of your children these days?
Oh, I have to ask my sisters and my siblings before they will help me take care of them.
It is really bothering you, I suppose.
Pardon?
This is bothering you, I suppose.
Yes, sir, because if this E-levy to come, maybe they will send money to me and they will deduct the money again. And where am I going?
So that's why you are here too.
That's why I joined the queue to demonstrate again.
Mommy, what is your case with this protest? Why are you here?
I'm here for drop the E-levy.
You are here to stop the E-levy. Why are you against the E-levy?
My viega. Iya B.A. mo commence degree. Na no tumo ne bana. Na no tumo na tu. Aha le be. Ha mi no ko fio. Ya to ne e ko ba don ba ja mi. Iya ta oni kan ale. Mo ko hun teacher ni. La hu apele. Lo woni yo bi ene. Small boy. La hu ye abase 23 years. Ne just pay ba no. E security. Maba. Let's say school. Then no go. Let ka wa ma. Me ne me fe ametrasi esia. Lo we ne won ba bi e. Ene won ba bi e. Grab the year.
Are you also here to oppose the E-levy or the other reason for you?
I am 1,000% over here to oppose the E-levy. Personally, I'm not a person who likes to demonstrate. I believe in dialoguing. But listen, you sit back, you watch this. This government doesn't listen. I'm coming all the way from Amasaman constituency. People who voted Nanado to power are the ordinary citizenry. I'm talking about the shoe shine boys, the truck pushers, those people who don't sit in the comfortable offices. And this E-levy, they are going to suffer. This E-levy tax is not progressive, it's retrogressive. Because the ministers, the big men, what they do is that Akufa don't give bundle of money to people.
How will it affect you? How will the E-levy affect you?
The E-levy is going to affect me because for me, for what I do, I can pay that percentage on it, 1.75, all right. But in my village, there are people who are not employed, who suffer, who do the shoe shine, they get money to pay their children's school fees. So after struggling in the midst of unemployment, and you the shoe shine man, you've got a little money to pay your child's school fees, you know, because though we say free education, the textbooks are there. You want ordinary citizen to buy textbooks to make sure his child or a child is able to compete with the big men over there in the ministries. So what if I said everybody is going to suffer? Who say Momo are the ordinary citizens, the ordinary people who voted into power.
So NDC General Secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia has just arrived here at the grounds, and a lot of people are attempting to welcome him to the grounds. General Asiedu Nketia himself. General, I'm going to stand on top of your line. It appears the General Secretary is going to stand on top of his car. He did the same when the NDC held a similar protest some time back. So I'm sure that's what he's going to do. The other time, the explanation he gave for standing on top of the car was because of COVID-19 and because of health reasons. He wanted to move far away from the people, and it looks as though that is what the General Secretary is attempting to do at the moment. as you can see, he's opening the top of his car, and there his hand appears. Shout and cheers from the people at Obrafort. General! Hey! 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 This seems to be your newfound love.
What?
Your newfound love.
What is newfound love?
Standing on top of the car.
No, but that is another platform where you can be seen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's only to be seen.
But
it is for people to be able to see you. That's what.
I'm talking to people, and they must know who is talking. That's why I'm talking. If there were a platform here, I would be on top of it.
What do you make of the cheers for you here and then protest?
Because they believe in the message, and the message is struggle. There must be resistance to impunity, and that is precisely what we are doing.
You have been in this space for quite a long time. This protest is being organized by the youth group. Does this remind you of any other protest that you have had to lead yourself?
Well, it reminds me of my youthful days. So that is why I have come to give a message of solidarity. I believe that the youth have started doing the right things now. Because if we are building